HTTV, in association with Absolute Warehouse Services, sat with Academy Manager Leigh Bromby this afternoon. Leigh, thanks for joining us first of all. About 2 weeks into pre-season now, how have things gone for you so far?
Very pleased. I mean, we've taken on more players than we ever have done, but it's worked, and we're enjoying working with the players every day. So good start.
Obviously, big changes at the academy as are well documented now, and different age groups this year. So we've got the under-19s and the under-17s, often working together. But I think the under-17s in particular will be of real interest because they're completely new to the building, new to Yorkshire in many things. How are they coping, not just with the football element, but also with the human element as well, and getting used to their new surroundings?
Yeah, I think it's a big move for a lot of our players. We've recruited a lot from London. So totally different dynamics for them and culture, but they seem to be settling in well. So our period, the first 2 weeks has been a settling in period for those players, and sort of getting them used to the expectations of our environment. Because historically we had under-16s that knew what it was like to be a Terriers player. They were in the club and things like that, and that's something we've lost. But we're here to work on that and make their settling in period as quickly as possible. As
such, I suppose it's different for them, different dynamic in terms of what you're teaching them, and there's this theory that all you're doing in early stages of pre-season is run up and down hills is long gone, isn't it? What have you been working on with the under-17s? Yeah,
so the 17s, like I said, it's a settling in period. One objective is not to get the players injured. So we need to get them through training. They're all from different backgrounds, as we mentioned, and different training and demands. So we've had to adjust our training a little bit to that. A big feature of our academy for pre-season is resilience, and that's a part of our programme as a whole. So we work closely with performance psychologists. We're lucky the club sort of invest into that with first team and the academy. So we're lucky enough to have access to that. And we've put on a lot of resilience sort of workshops, but like you said, the old school running, which I came through, was changed a little bit. It's still there. It's still important that they do the running and they get the fitness, because our manager demands the highest level of fitness. So we've got to teach the players to be fit and how to get there. But I think with the 17s, it looks totally different to the 19s and the demands.
Obviously, like you say, with the 17s and the 19s, they both got their first games coming up. So I think the under-19s playing the tournament locally based around Brighouse and Liversidge this weekend. Whereas you're taking the 17s away to Mousehole, right down in the southwest of England. So looking at the 19s, like you said, they're a bit different. They know the basics of this Terriers identity. What are you hoping to see from them this weekend?
Yeah, so it's an interesting tournament, really. I think it's important our players, once they get to this stage, do play against men, and they also experience something that's not perfect. So going to Liversidge, going to Brighouse, the changing rooms aren't perfect, the pitches aren't perfect. So there's a challenge straight away for the players. In terms, do I expect them to win against those players? I think our players will be better technically, but our players have got to learn, and it's part of their programme, that there's a physical element to football, and we're trying to get them involved in that. And also in a tournament, hopefully fans turn up, hopefully they're shouting, and putting them in that situation where they're in a stadium and people do have an opinion, and if you kick a ball out, they tell you how bad you are. They've got to learn that part of it. So when you come to academy games, you don't always get that. People come and watch, and it's about development. We've got to give them a variety of challenges, and that's part of it. We've put that in for a reason. It's not just we're going to play a local team and picking some. It's a tournament. We feel it'll be a bit of a challenge, and that's why the 19s are going there.
Same stimulus as the loans have given some of the lads at the back end of last year who went on loan to these guys to get all those things you just talked about. Yeah,
definitely, and I think we saw the benefits of that last season. And as I said, with the programme, so we go from those games, we go on to play Bayern Munich, the same team, in unbelievable facilities. So it's trying to create that, which we've got now because the club made the decision to restructure, and we've got flexibility to be able to do these things and put them in for a reason. So for me, it's exciting. It's I've loved every minute of this pre-season and the organisation of it. So I'm looking forward to hopefully it coming off how we see it.
Yeah, and the under-17s is a really interesting one because it's worth saying these guys hadn't even met each other until they came in at the back end of last season, so it's going to be their first time out on the pitch together in competitive action. It's going to be a real tough challenge for them, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we do a lot of work, we do a lot of movement patterns which you've seen. We've put some videos out, and we do a lot of tactical work, because our manager and our system and the club, it's a tactical, demanding formation.
The system's not easy. I mean,
it's not easy.
We sit the first team guys down, Christoph Bueller, it's a real challenge.
Yeah, so we're lucky at this club that those relationships are very good, particularly with Mark being involved in the academy, that we get access to that detail, and our job is to teach it in a little different way and a different style, because it looks different for 17s, it looks different for 19s, and totally different for the first team. These are right at the beginning, so the information they get, we try to drip feed the information, use loads of video, so it's not loads of stop-start, loads of video that they get, loads of homework, so it'll be interesting. I'm really looking forward to the game to see if they've taken on our games, to see if they've taken it on board. It's part of the learning. Results are not the focus. It's if they understand our system and how we play. It's not about the results.
I know that's tough for you, in particular. You're playing football at any level, you want to win, but it is an important point to re-emphasise that you're almost setting these guys the challenge of applying what you've been teaching them in games, and it's going to be really tough for them against the men's side in Mousehole to begin with, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's part of their learning. I mean, I don't tell them. I don't go in there and say, "Oh, it's all right to lose today." It's not what we don't go in and do that. I think we've got a bigger picture where we say, want a challenge, we want them to be tested, we want them to learn, and we review against the games. And we tell them we want them to win. I don't stand in the dressing room and say it's okay to lose, because that's not football, that's not real. So we put massive demands on them that we do want to win. But the bigger picture is, and the learning is, are we teaching them the right way? And that is the Huddersfield way, and we review against that. And that's the most important thing for young players.
As such, I suppose for that group, again the under-17s, the real test of progression throughout pre-season will be how the games look, and how we play in the games this weekend down in Mousehole, compared to right at the end of pre-season, it looking more like a Huddersfield Town performance than perhaps the ones this weekend will.
Yeah. So this weekend they've got a little bit of a leeway. By the end of pre-season, and as we get towards the league sort of fixtures, we expect them to take on board what we're teaching them. And when we go out and play, regardless of if we've got the Huddersfield Town kit on, you could come out and say, that looks how Huddersfield play.
With the lads, and the young lads in particular, you obviously recruited them here on the basis that they had characteristics that would fit the way we play. Are you seeing those out on the pitch, just early glimpses of that?
100%. I think our recruitment totally changed last season. We had a big involvement from all the staff, so myself, Lee Mellor, who's a fitness coach, and we are investing in that. We're bringing in a head of recruitment, loads of help from the first team, so Josh Marsh and the staff up there, loads of help to bring these players in and contacts, and they have been selected because of that, because they've got something that we believe we can develop in our system. So we've got some exciting players. We've got a lot of work to do, but like you said, I think the link now is you can see it on the pitch. You can see the players that are coming in look something like a Huddersfield Town first team player.
You sound excited by it, Lee.
Very excited,
Good. Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck this weekend.
Cheers.